Um, my name's Ken Silburn and I'm the head teacher of science at Casula High School back in Sydney in Australia. And I've been lucky to be in India for almost 2 weeks now. The school is a general high school, so it's for years 7 to 12, just over 700 students, and it's in Liverpool, which is about 1 hour's drive out of Sydney. And I teach science. I actually found out about the whole Spaceward Bound program back in 2009, and I was lucky to get a scholarship from Australia to do one of their programs in the Mojave Desert. And since then there's been a few expeditions in Australia. There's been the Pilbara, Arkaroola, and also one in New Zealand. So I've been able to go to those, and as a teacher it's invaluable because you get to meet scientists that are actually practicing, and you've got all the stories that you can have back at school. Yep. In Ladakh, it's not so much of an experiment for me, it's more of doing science outreach with schools and working with scientists and finding out what they're doing. Because when you go back to a school, kids in year 7, they start school and they want to blow things up. They love dinosaurs and they love space. Well, we don't blow that many things up, although you did see the rockets today. And when it comes to the dinosaurs, they're all dead. But every kid can see themselves doing things with space. So it's very powerful to teach with. And I've been lucky with 2 of the girls in one of my classes. I'm actually running an experiment for them. So we're looking at the effects of high altitude on people when it comes to their pulse rate and their blood pressure. And it's been really nice because every scientist that's been on this program and every teacher has been donating their time every morning so that we can take their blood pressure. So it's good, and it's amazing what the difference is when you actually come to a high altitude area. I've been really lucky to have a week of doing workshops with teachers and with students in Delhi, and that was organised by the Indian Education Department and the Australian High Commission. But as well as that, to actually come here to Leh, it's an immense experiment in itself. Yesterday I could not walk, for 10 metres because of the high altitude sickness. But I've got through it now. But it's amazing just with the difference in the oxygen level. The expectations for this expedition are very, very high. And I think it's because it's the first one that we've had the US, Australia and India and other countries combining to actually have the expedition. And to actually go to Ladakh is fantastic because it's got the opportunity to have experiments that you could probably do back in Mars, but we can do it on Earth. At a personal level, just to work with so many terrific teachers who give up their time to be in the program, and to work with teachers that we're doing today and school kids, it's absolutely awesome. And it's good fun. It was terrific to go to Sekmore School today. I've been to quite a few schools in India, and I'm always amazed at the Indian education system, how big it is, especially compared to Australia. But it really shows that a school like Sekmore can be very small, but really do good things. And that the kids there, they're just tremendous. The kids love it when you give them the chance to do an experiment or make and design something for themselves. Quite often as teachers, we know the solution, and it's very easy for us to tell them, this is what you have to do. But what we like to do is to say, this is what you might want to do, and this might be a little bit of a hint, but it's all up to you. And the kids really loved it. Even on their rockets today, for kids to put their own name onto something that they've made, it shows that they've got pride. And I'm sure they'll keep those and they'll talk about those for weeks and weeks. One of the great things about today is that because the kids were so good, we're actually coming back on the 18th and that's a free day. So it's a day which a lot of the teachers were just going to do sightseeing, but we're going to go back because we can actually do a workshop with all of the students, and instead of doing 40 minutes that we did today with the rockets, we can do 2.5 hours of science experiments. And after this, they're actually flying me to, there's more schools in Delhi, Jaipur, Hyderabad, and Mumbai. It's a nice place to be. With almost all of the experiments and demonstrations I've been doing with teachers in India, it's all on equipment that students have at home. Because one of the things you need to do is it's not just what you do in science at school, it's what you can do when you're back home with the same equipment. So if students can be engaged and they see what's going on, then they think, oh, yeah, that's what happens. And it's amazing for students if they read from the textbook, then they might understand it, but if they see it and they build something, then it sticks in their head. Field trips like this and doing outreach to schools, it's impossible to do it unless you can actually get to the school. So we've just been so lucky that Tata Motors has helped us out tremendously. Because when you think about it, as a school teacher, there's all these problems in the world like global warming, trying to feed the population, changing jobs. But I won't be able to solve that problem by myself. But the chances are one of my kids will. And if not one of my kids, then one of the kids of a teacher that I talked to on this trip.